Hello and welcome back to my art journaling channel. Today I am in day 8 of Marlene's advent calendar, and this is the little tag that I made with the live, and that is the gorgeous stencil that we got. I love a good mark making stencil, and I think that this one is going to be very versatile. So first I'm just taping off my page that I had done there before, just to make sure I protect it. Now I'm going in with mermaid paint from Art by Marlene, and I'm just spreading it out all over. I'm going in with Kermit. How gorgeous are those two colors together? And then a little bit of yellow. So I had a little bit of yellow seepage from the other page, so I thought let me add some more yellow, and then it's not so obvious that the other page leaked over. And I'm just using the remainder of my paint that I had on my palette just to do some mark making. I hate wasting paint, so often the reason for doing things on my pages is just because I don't want to waste the paint, and I'm just going to slap it down somewhere on the page. So that's what I'm doing here. There was still a little bit left, and then I thought I would make the bottom edge a little bit darker, because I had the idea of making flowers with that stencil. First I'm trimming a makeup sponge in half to make it nice and small, because the stencil is so tiny. I needed a little bit, just a tiny sponge to get in to the little gaps. So I'm using the bigger one of the circly bits, and those are going to be my flowers, and then the rest of them I'm just using as mark making in the background. This is such a dinky little stencil. I think it would be a great stencil if it was bigger. I mean, it's great now, but I would love a bigger version of this as well. Then the little chain bits, I decided that would be the stems of my flowers, but I just wanted that inside bit, so it was a little bit tricky to get right, but no, I got there in the end. So I'm just smudging some paint down, putting the stencil over, and then rubbing away the paint through the stencil. And I'm going to add some petals just with a paintbrush where there was some bits that I couldn't wipe away properly, because obviously the way the stencil is, the shape of the stencil, so I chose to just make those into petal leaves. Now I'm drawing some petals into those circle bits that I did. I really struggled to get my other purple paint pen to work, so I'm just going in with my Life of Color. So I'm moving in between the different sets of paint pens that I have, just to find something that works well together and that's going to make this work. Making all the centers of the flowers yellow, and then I'm doing a purple flower as well. Coloring all the petals. And I'm going in with an orange flower. Can you believe I'm using orange again, even though I hate orange? This is the least favorite of my flowers, and I suspect it's because it's orange. I think if it was pink, I would be much happier with it. Found a darker purple pen just to darken up some of the center of that flower. And I'm just going to keep adding to these until I find some middle ground where I'm sort of happy with what I create. I'm not very good with drawing flowers, I must say. I really struggle with them. So maybe this was a little bit too ambitious for me. But in the end, I made something that I was kind of happy with. So it was okay. It all came out okay. It all went all right in the end. And I'm going to just start going in with some black and white details. And then this flower is a little bit more of a whimsical one, so I decided to give it some, I don't know, tentacles, if you want to call it that. And I've changed paint pens again. I was really struggling to find pens at work. So I struggled a bit with getting enough of these white little bits in the background. I think it's just because it's so tiny and because I'm choosing just one little circle at a time. If I had just gone in with my sponge and gone all over the show, I think it would have been much easier. But because I wasn't too sure what I was doing, that's how it ended up. There's another little tribal. I really like that shape. It's almost like a tribal kind of African tribal shape. But those, I thought that it could make cute little tiny grass blades or, something along those lines. Then I added flowers onto them. I really didn't like the way it looked, so I covered it up with just a dotty stamp. And I was a little bit happier with that. Adding more highlights, I did a little bit of shadowing with some purple paint and just a little bit more fluffing about before I add my quote. And the quote is, peace is not choosing the same side, it's the empty space in between. I think it says something like that. It's a really lovely quote. I think it's okay to disagree with people, but we don't have to be at war when we do. Outline my quote, and then I'm going in with just adding a little bit more of those white circly, florally bits just to fill up those very empty spaces. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Please like my video, leave a comment. I love to hear from you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.